right, so we are back here in the new year, 2024, back for another LILJ High School Winter League podcast. I am Ellis Joshua, joined alongside, as always, by Coach Wink. Coach Wink, how you doing here this morning? I'm liking the hat that you're repping right now.
Thank you, buddy. This is the rope hat that has the crowning of the champions for the Stony Brook High School Winter League that we run, which tonight starts the playoffs for the girls. Tomorrow night starts it for the boys. So I'm very excited that we're going to be crowning a boys champ, a JV girls champ, and 3 varsity girls champs. There's 3 brackets in the varsity division. There's a AAA, a AA, and a single A. So what happened was they took all the pool games from December. That puts you into a bracket, and the top teams that obviously perform the best are in the AAA bracket. The next group is in the AA bracket, and then the single A bracket. And hopefully we'll see some exciting games. Tonight is the first round games for the JV and the first round games for the AAA varsity bracket, which we'll be talking about on this call. But I think before we get into that, I think you wanted to talk a little bit about who's been impressing, the stats, and who's been kind of like showing their stuff, and to give the consumer, where they can see this information.
Yeah, so we definitely want to go through some of the stat leaders. So let me share my screen right now. And that way, everyone that watches this podcast, they can see exactly where to find that information. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see the girls' league. That's the leaders and points.
Yup. So just so everyone knows exactly where to find this, if you're on the LILJ website, so you would go to events, and then we're going to talk about the girl stat leaders. So you just click on High School Winter League for girls, and then all the information is here on the dashboard. So we just go over to stats, and here we are. So first, we're looking at points right now. So we can see who's at the top and near the top in points. So how about Mackenzie Moeller for Rocky Point?
I love it,
Leading
man.
points, got 17, averaging over 5.5 points per game. And we've seen that really throughout all of Rocky Point's 3 games. Like Mackenzie Moeller, she's really been giving a nice variety of scoring and facilitating the lefty attacker going to Wooford. So we've definitely seen a lot of really standout games from her. And then this also, we should note, this encompasses both varsity and JV. So we know the JV teams, they had 4 pool play games, but how about Olivia Brady? I mean, what more can you say? Like,
Yeah, she's playing well, and she's also playing for her club team in the varsity bracket and playing very well. So,
right.
I'm very curious to see, if she ends up on Bayport's varsity's roster this spring, because she's definitely, shown herself really, really well. And they're the 1 seed in the JV bracket. So you want to just click on the playoffs real quick, bud?
Sure.
So if you click on that, you can see that's the JV bracket. So tonight you got SA 27s against YJ Duswalt. That's the play-in game to play Bayport. Bayport's the 1 seed. And then West Hampton, who's the 2 seed, the Ward Melville JV and YJ Friedman will play. Now everybody plays at least 2 games because they've already played 4. So you could see, and then you could see if they win, if they lose, where they move, and then you go down. That's tonight's games on the varsity AAA bracket. You got Southside against St. Anthony 24s. That's to play the 1 seed Bayport's varsity. And West Hampton against the Sacred Heart Spartans. That's to play Ward Melville, which is the 4 seed. And
That
then you
could
got
be a great game.
What's that, buddy?
I said that could be a great game. West Hampton, Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think all these games are going to be competitive. I mean, Southside St. Anthony, then you got Comac St. Anthony 25s. They're going to play the YJ Grozity Stadler 27 team, who's been really impressive in league play. They're the 3 seed. And then I would say the surprise so far is Long Beach being the 2 seed. Wouldn't you say. I mean, I give them a lot of credit, but that squad's played very well.
Yeah, Long Beach, they've definitely impressed. They've had pretty convincing wins too. Like they've looked really good so far. First three games going back to the pool play.
Interesting that the playing game is Garden City Smithtown West, because both of those teams, Garden City has obviously been Long Beach's kryptonite the last few years in spring ball.
Hmm.
And Smithtown West is a high level B team. So these
Yeah,
are three teams that could be in the
they look.
mix for the LIC, right?
Yup, absolutely.
Then you scroll down starting on Sunday, your double A bracket. I mean, you got some powerhouses.
Yeah, how about you got Wantagh going up against Shoreham? That's the first game of the morning. Then you got Sayville and YJ Torrey Mitchell. That's a good matchup, like a really strong high school program in Sayville going up against a top-notch club team of super sophomores. Then how about Smithtown East, Rocky Point? Nice non-league game right there. And then you got GC Tradition going up against Manhasset.
Yeah, a little Woodstick preview of some Garden City kids battling the Manhasset Lady Indians. You scroll down and you got the A bracket, and you can see the teams that are in that bracket, and they're going to play to a champ. You got the free agent team, which is the Excelsior team playing Huntington. The Wild Warriors against St. Anthony's Super Softs. The Mustangs against Connecticut, and then the Panthers from Miller Place against the ESM Sharks. So all these teams will be playing over the weekend on Sunday. So let's jump into the boys' side if you don't mind.
Sure.
You can see the stats. You want to click stats real quick? You can see how the kids are doing in their first three games. Obviously, these big names, these are committed kids. You got LaForge's Michigan. Where's Martini going?
Martini's going to Army.
And then Breslin's Lehigh.
Yep.
Langton's Army.
Army.
Cameron James, only a sophomore.
Yep.
That kid's gonna be having people line up in his driveway on September 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maryland Rail, the Carolina boys. Then Martini, that's the Albany recruit.
Yeah, that's the Albany commit.
And then this guy who's the Hopkins commit. And Andrew Biscaglia from Ward Melville. So you could see all the kids. You can see the stats that we keep. Scroll all the way down, bud, so we could see the ground balls, the caused turnovers, the saves. These are really important. And for the parents out there for the springtime, we'd really appreciate it if our communities can work with their coaches' staffs to try to get us, the full array of stats for each team after each game, so we can input it, and we'll give you basically a spreadsheet that you can just input the information, send it over to us, and we'll make sure that whatever stat you have in there, positive stat, and we say positive, something like, of course, turnovers, Parker McDonald and Aiden McMinn leading that. That means they take the ball away from an opponent or steal it or pick off a pass or something of that nature. So we like to get that in the ground balls and the saves and save percentages, but we definitely need our families in the communities to help the coaches, because the coaches got a lot on their plate during the season. So whatever we can do, we don't want to just put goals, assists, and saves. This really is helpful. I've heard it from many, many college coaches. When they're recruiting or following their players that they've recruited, they can see how their kids are doing, and then they can obviously go to a game once their season ends in May and June and recruit. And when you see a kid like Aiden McMinn, who's going to start to get recruited this year, if he leads his team in caused turnovers and plays 16 games and let's say has 30 or 40 caused turnovers, that opens the eyes to the recruiters. So we use this as a tool that can really help. Like a kid like Zachariah, who's a high level kid from Manhasset, will really help him. So
Right.
that's a goal of ours, that the LILJ was put into place to help the kids. So the only way we could do that is if we can get some help from the communities. And I know even if you guys have Huddle Assist in your communities, which is the Huddle component of the stats, you can literally just link the LI Lacrosse Journal at gmail.com email to your Huddle Assist. You don't have to do anything. And when your coach gets the stats, we get them, and then we'll input them. So it's a really, really cool tool
Yeah,
and very helpful. And then then there's no work because you're doing
yeah,
it already.
there's schools that already do use Huddle. Like I know like Half Hollow Hills, they use it. Chaminade uses it. I believe Kellenberg uses it as well. So like we've gotten plenty of stats through Huddle from the programs that already use it. And that's why during the season, when you go back to like last season and look at those teams for an example, look at their rosters and their stats, that's why those teams will have everything on the LILJ, because those teams are connected with Huddle Assist.
Yeah, and it's not an expensive thing for a school to purchase for their sports programs because Huddle does it for all the sports. So when they buy a package, um, usually it's part of it. And all they do is upload the film after the game, like they do with their kids, to upload it to show it to their players. And then the rest is done by Huddle. So hopefully for those of you that are watching this podcast, you could spread the word to your ADs and your coaches and, help. At the end of the day, this is a tool to help these young men and young women get exposure. So it comes down to just everybody working together. And we're a team. We're a team to help every boy or girl who, wants to play at the next level after high school. So it's, like I see kids on here I don't even know, which will make me want to watch those kids play. And I'm not a college coach. So I can imagine what a college coach wants to do when they see it.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little information. I don't think we have to get into each matchup tonight, but I guess we could talk about a few. I could tell you a couple, Ellis, that really, which gets me excited. I'm excited to see St. Anthony's against Southside.
Yeah, the South Side against the SA 24 team.
Yep. I'm also excited to see the Spartans from Sacred Heart. Coach Cole's done a great job. His enthusiasm's been infectious. He's always been, he's a wrestling coach at Chaminade. His daughter Katie, who's going to BC, is on the squad. And he's done a great job. They don't allow at Sacred Heart their coach to coach the team. So he stepped in, and kudos to him because he's done a great job. Very positive role model. I've known Coach Cole for a while. I've seen him on the sideline coaching freshman ball at Chaminade. And I mean, his enthusiasm is infectious. Comac, I'm excited to see them. They're up against SA 25s. And then the Smithtown West. So Spartans against West Hampton, is that right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I think that could possibly be the game of the night.
Yeah,
Sacred
I agree.
West Hampton.
Yeah.
That's the last game of the night too. So
Ooh.
we'll see if this one lives up to the hype. But I mean, we gotta see if everyone's coming, because we know kids have other stuff going on, like hoops and
Yeah, the
what.
good thing is it's a late game, so
Yeah.
we'll hopefully make it. And on the boys' side, we start tomorrow night with the play-in games. You got Huntington against Smithtown West, Chaminade against Syosset, Ruston Gold against the Mustangs, Ward Melville against Express 27s, and then the Kellenberg Firebirds against Hills, and then Pequot Wantaw. I think Pequot Wantaw. That gets me excited.
Two neighboring towns going at it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the Civil War, they're fighting for that
Yeah.
Mason-Dixon line.
Well, actually, you got Seaford in between, but you get the point.
Yeah, yeah. Seaford's the buffer. So I think it's going to be a really exciting first two nights, and then we got an event on Saturday, which is a brand new event for the girls. It's called Battle of the Sound, which is going to be kind of cool. We're bringing in some Connecticut and Rockland teams. The Suffern team, the New Canaan and Darien team are going to come down and play some Long Island teams. They've got Cold Spring Harbor girls, Wantaw girls, West Hampton girls, St. Anthony 25s. Who else did I miss? Did I forget someone? Oh, Garden City. How do I forget the GC girls?
Yeah.
So they'll play 3 games and they'll play to a champion. We call that the Battle of the Sound. We're hoping to grow that into a 2-day event for next year and get 16 teams. For anybody that's listening to this podcast, if your team's interested, just let us know. Good opportunity to play high-level teams from off the island, and should be fun. And then Sunday we get back into the playoffs for the league. So we got 2 more weeks of league. Hopefully, you girls want to win this cool rope hat that probably will look a lot better on you guys than Coach Wink. I'm not a rope hat guy, but I'm not a flat brim guy.
You know, I'm typically not either, but like anything like LILJ related, I'll sport that. LILJ or FLG, I'll sport the flat brim cap.
I do have a couple of these in white that I made extra for our staff, so I figured you and
Ooh,
me and Christian can sport those.
nice.
Yeah, you could bend them. They're more golf related and stuff. Because I feel like Coach Wink's a little. Yeah, I'm that's not a flat brim guy. Doesn't work for me. You guys can comment, but you don't have to agree or disagree. But no, doesn't work for me. Sorry. Um, but it's cool. Well, I appreciate everybody listening, and we'll see everybody tonight and tomorrow night and over the weekend. And Ellis, I'll let you take us out.
All right, so that's gonna do it as we're kicking off the new year with a fresh LILJ High School Interleague playoff podcast. So thanks for everyone that tuned in, and we'll catch you guys tonight, tomorrow, and throughout the weekend.